Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you another update on this Helios 2 or whatever it gets called in the end. I finished up pretty much all the hull block work now and got this. Most of my attention was put on the rear of the ship, and then I textured and fixed a problem on the interior of the ship, and then I've got a couple of different variations and textures to show you, and I kind of wanted your opinion on what you like better. Uh, so anyway, I'm just kind of doing this little flyby here, kind of trying to make the ship look like it's moving, but it's really just me moving the camera. Um, and here are the new thruster housings on the back side of the ship over here. And they were kind of rebuilt mostly from ground up. And there's some problems with the previous version, and I wanted to clean up a lot of stuff, and I wanted to change the dimensions of the room on the inside. So this is kind of what it's looking like right now. There's actually kind of a lot of stuff going on the inside over here as well, where I kept this bar thing in front of like another layer of blocks which form the wall back over there into the engineering areas. Now before I go too much further though, let me just I wanted to talk about what I changed on from the last version of the thrusters. Obviously the overall shape is pretty much the same. I kept some elements, like this part here is the same on the new one. But what I ran into is I didn't like what I had going on over here with these thrusters and the room space inside of here. I was counting blocks from the floor to the ceiling, and it was actually 6 blocks, and I wanted 5. So what I ended up doing is all these thrusters got put up another block row this way, and I thinned this whole back area up. So it's thinner than what the on the newer version. You can kind of see that here, where these are only 2 blocks down from the flight deck versus 3 on the last version. Then it kind of angles up over here, but that works out perfect for the size parts I want to put in these rooms. And I didn't like 6 blocks because it's kind of a waste. So now I've got 5 block tall rooms, and why I wanted 5 block tall rooms is so I could fit a fusion reactor and some large shield parts sideways, actually. So one of these rooms will contain placeholders for all that stuff, and the other room will, of course, have the rest of the medium shield parts, small shield parts, generator stuff. I got to figure it all out. I got quite a lot of room to work with in these rooms, so not a big problem whatsoever. But another aspect too on why I didn't overall change the shape of this, and I did try a little bit. I tried like doing some kind of different nacelle idea that I thought looked really bad. I can't really stack one thruster on top of another because then it's too tall. So there's a lot of things. So I kind of, this format here, although it's very similar to that of the original Helios, just works better. It works better. And especially I gotta make sure the player can get in and access and manually upgrade or place all these thrusters from inside the ship as well. And other formats just weren't working out very good for that. So this just comes out to be the best way to go about it. As in getting to these rooms here, you don't have to go outside and spacewalk anymore. You can literally just at the end of where this module hallway is, you just have your engineering bay doors here, and they go directly into the engineering rooms. So it's going to be pretty straightforward, and you don't have to like fly outside of the ship to do that anymore. Okay, so the next part here, I wanted to go over another modification to the ship that I made and talk mainly about the colors. So I did a little bit of texturing and a lot of modifications on this, where this front module bay area is. I pushed the wall out here. I rebuilt the whole wall to start with, and then pushed it out, I think actually 3 block rows, or maybe it was 2, something like that. But I needed to get a ramp in there to get it down to the lower level of this section versus where the rest of the modules were. And then I pushed it out because if you notice that these modules over here are start further out on the ship versus what this was. So for uniformity and everything like that, I wanted to keep everything kind of apples to apples where the modules line up on the side of the ship, and I needed to build a ramp in here to connect it to the inside. But what I'm mainly looking at here is the coloring. So you can kind of see that this area got lit and textured, and some little detail things in it and stuff like that. This is kind of a sample. And this is the, I'll just call this the darker look. So this is kind of a medium gray, dark gray, and then it's got some red accents and a little miscellaneous other things in the mix. So if we fly over to this version of the ship here, same blockwork, same lights, all that's the same, but it's brighter. Essentially, I added in more of a lighter gray color into the mix. I kept some of the darker grays as well, but it's just generally brighter than what the other version is, especially along the front here. And I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. Which one do you like better? Do you like the darker gray look, or do you like it lighter like this? Again, I'm still trying to get some grays in here and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. See, I'm torn. I'm really, really torn. In a lot of ways, I kind of like the darker look better because it looks to me a little more industrial, I guess, maybe. But you know, I'm not sure that this lighter gray actually has a little more color in the area, and it's probably a little bit trickier to paint by a little bit. But in a lot of ways, I kind of like the version before I added the lighter colors better. But I just wanted to see if you guys think the same way or you like the lighter look better. This is a little simpler. There are quite a few different shades of gray in here, but they're very close, and they're very close to the medium grayish look, except for some of the darker spots in here in various places. But you know, they both kind of create a little bit different look despite being about the same thing. So yeah, just kind of curious on that, on your opinion. One last little detail that I did do on this ship as well is I got this little asymmetrical long-range radar thing here. And I just I was trying to look for ways to add a little more detail to the ship, and you know, why not place a long-range radar somewhere on the exterior of the ship, and kind of a spot that looks like it was made for it, which it kind of was in this case. And to add a little bit of more asymmetrical stuff to the ship. Now, the top profile of the ship, it does have some asymmetrical things going on, like the corner over on this corner here is quite a bit different than the other side. When I was messing around with everything too, I tried another method here. What I did is basically, if you take a look at the angles on the front here, where you got a larger sloping angle on this side versus this side, I inverted but kind of did the same thing on the rear side. So I kept this angle being a larger angle here, and then this one I squared it off and then stubbed it out more to create kind of an asymmetrical look from the top down profile, from kind of matching that of the other side of the ship over here. And I was like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that. And then I looked at the back of the ship, and essentially what happened is this block row here got extended out like, I don't know, another 4 or 5 blocks this way to make that different angle. And it really messed with me. It looked like I had the whole flight deck like off-centered. Like it looked weird. And it just, I couldn't get over it, so I ended up restoring the angle back to the original angle on this side, but then experimented and added in this little chunk here in the process. And again, like that change, I thought it looked really cool from the top, but man, it looked weird. It looked so weird from the back, not being symmetrical and having this part just stick out further and round off over there. It looked like I had the whole flight deck off-centered, like I made a mistake when I was like building it or something, and it just looked wrong. So that's kind of why I made it symmetrical again back over here. Just wasn't doing it. I wish I would have saved that version. I would have showed you. I thought I was gonna love it, and I totally did from the top down profile of it. But man, that's where it stopped. Other than that, it would just look really strange from the back of the ship, and I just couldn't really get over it. So anyway, that's where I'm at with the ship. So I've got a lot of texturing to do. A lot of texturing to do on this thing now. So, and some more interior areas to build out, but it's well on its way. Spec wise, it should really, I'm hoping at the end of the day, really outdo the original Helios in every aspect is the game plan. The only thing that this ship might not outdo the Helios on is, well, it will, but not in a good way, is it's probably going to be slightly higher size class. The original Helios was size class 14. This one, currently where it sits, is at size class 12. So I've got, you know, I believe at the end of the day, this one's probably going to be somewhere between size class, I don't know, 15 and 16, if I were just to make a rough estimate of it. Then again, though, I do have a lot of the, I don't know, I got some of the interior already done up in here, like this whole chunk over here and stuff like that. I got to do this room, and then I got to do the two engineering rooms. But other than that, most of the block work on the ship is in place now. So I don't think I'll be ramping up the size class much in block work except for interior walls, except for this area. I have not went in and added little thingies to the ceiling in the rear module bay right now. And it still looks like it could fit like the dropship module, but yeah, this is just a regular Helios module bay. It's going to have to sit, it sits pretty far in here. This one would not work for the Plutus M2. Because the lip on the Plutus M2, it would have to use one of the 4 standard module bays on it. But other than that, it's got, 2 more module bays than the original Helios. It's going to have a lot more thrust power. It's a lighter weight hull. It's going to have a lot more upgradability with shields and things like that. I think it's just going to work out better, and that's exactly what I was trying to do, is try to improve on the design of the first Helios, but I wanted it to be different, noticeably different looking, and even the interior layout is different than that of the original Helios. It's I was trying to think things through a little bit more, trying to make it a little more convenient to get in and out of the ship, a lot more convenient to use the dropship module being on the front, directly connected to the hangar that goes through here. I wanted it to be a little bit smaller as well. I failed there, though. It's not really smaller anymore. It was a smidgen smaller originally, but when comments said that there's modules out there that were using this to unload vehicles and things like that, and I had this area thinner in here, it wasn't going to work out, and if I kept it thinner like that, I was going to break the functionality of the existing modules, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure it's completely backwards compatible to the first Helios on all the modules. I don't want to break any of them or say that they're not going to work anymore or anything like that. That's not cool. So yeah, I had to basically build it pretty much the same size as the first Helios. It's just I'm also trying to get a little more detail, especially on the interior, into areas like this. I don't think the first Helios had any areas with this much stuff going on with or maybe it does. It's been a little while since I looked at it, but anyway, I'm just trying to make it look prettier and be better for specifications and what it was meant to be, and more upgradable and all that fun stuff. It should be cheaper too because it's built out of carbon instead of hardened steel. That's quite a bit of a difference in itself. Now right now, CPU wise and everything like that is total joke at the moment. I've got a lot of Excel thrusters installed, but not all of them. Like if you look at the specs here, at like 328 forward, 75 strafing, the reverse, you probably look at reverse like, oh god, that sucks. That's because it's missing 4 Excel thrusters, and I'm also missing strafing thrusters here too. So it's got like spots to add 2 strafing thrusters per side, just the 2x2x4 ones, and then 4 XL reverse thrusters that are not in the ship right now. I got some placeholder smaller ones here, or probably what it'll come stock with, but you'll be able to upgrade it to a total of 4 XL reverse thrusters this time. So I know, once you get this thing really loaded up with weight, it's kind of like a freight train. It's very hard to stop. But this version, if you want to put the resources into the ship, you would be able to stop it a whole lot better than the first Helios. It was brought up in comments too. Another way to stop your ship is to turn it off when you're flying. You know, you could do that. You could do that. I guess the only scenario that would be really bad on is if you're getting chased by, I don't know. It would be a scenario that would probably never happen. But if you're like running from some enemy CV that was chasing you and shooting at you, and then you're gonna run into, I don't know, wherever you're going, like maybe a space station or something like that, and then you wanted to stop really quick, you'd turn the ship off, which would probably stop the ship, but it would also lower your shields, and then yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure that it could actually stop on its own. Technically speaking, it defies all physics. If this thing was moving at whatever speed forward it was and you turned off all your thrusters, it's space. It's not going to stop in reality. It's going to keep on going that same speed until it hits something, if it ever hits something. So there you go. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts, and please let me know what styling you like better. The gray, we'll just say the darker gray or the lighter gray for the interior decor, I guess you could say. So other than that, y'all have yourself a great day. I'll talk to you later.